Well, I'm just driving to work this morning. It's a Friday, rainy morning, and here in New Jersey, the season is turning. It's getting to be springtime, and I love springtime. When I'm driving to work, I am so fortunate. I'm gonna merge over here. When I'm driving to work, I'm fortunate to have an office that is near a park. In fact, it's near two parks. And in order to drive to work, I drive through the two parks. Oh man, that makes me so melancholy. It makes me kind of want to start thinking, especially in the springtime, I start thinking about some places I'd like to go travel to. Have you had that? Have you had that melancholy feeling where maybe you want to go search? I know at this time of the year, we start planning our vacations for the summer, maybe even earlier in the springtime. I'm gonna probably go to Texas to see some family members. Hope I can see the big rolling fields of wildflowers off the highways. There they had some beautiful flowers called bluebonnets, and it's all mixed with these other wildflowers that are Indian paintbrushes. They're just gorgeous. In fact, Texas loves it so much they made the bluebonnet flower their state flower. But I digress. I wanted to share with you some places that you might want to consider to travel to or even move to if you want to live in a shipping container or just stay in one overnight like an Airbnb or whatever, just to experience a different lifestyle than what we're experiencing today. I know after this COVID time, you know, even during the COVID time, I'm getting all kinds of cabin fever. I'm just anxious to get out of the house. I could just walk around the block and be happy. But, you know, my boundaries are actually getting bigger and bigger. Driving to work, it reminds me that I could just keep on driving. I could just keep on driving to some of these other places and try a new life. But, you know, I'm happy where I am. And I hope you are too. But in this video, let's go through some pretty cool places you might want to consider to build a shipping container, and all throughout the 50 states, and where in the 50 states might be the better choices to do that. So if you want to live in one of these containers over here, you're going to need to probably consider the best place to live with a shipping container house. And the best place I can think of would be where the shipping containers are near the water. Check this map out and it will show where most of the ports are in America. Here's a list of a few towns that you'll see on that map. I marked them on the map, and let me read them off to you real quick, just so you'll know kind of what you're looking at. That's Seattle, Washington, Oakland, California, Corpus Christi, Texas, Beaumont, Texas, Mobile, Alabama, Miami, Florida, Savannah, Georgia, Wilmington, North Carolina, and there's Philadelphia, PA, Boston, Massachusetts. We've got Alaska, Valdez, Alaska, Portland, Oregon, Los Angeles, California, Houston, Texas. That's a big one. New Orleans, Louisiana, and Tampa Bay, Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, Charleston, South Carolina, Hampton Road, Virginia, New York, New York, Portland, Maine, and hey, how about this one? Honolulu, Hawaii. I'll see you there. Choose a place that's near an ocean or near a gulf, like the Gulf of Mexico, or near rivers or canals where shipping containers can actually travel up the water routes to get to land. You'll find that you'll be able to get your shipping container built with a little bit less money than what you would elsewhere. Now, granted, there are some shipping container houses that are kind of hard to get to the location, such as in the mountains of Colorado. I think that'd be a cool place to have one, don't you? Where you could have the shipping container and open on one side, looking out, hanging off of a big cliff or a hill or a mountain. Man, that'd look cool. But you're going to have to pay for it too. You're going to have to pay for the shipping on land to the location. Now, that is one thing to consider when you're building a shipping container house. It's not always less expensive than like a stick-built house that you see all around America. And one of the biggest prices, one of the biggest things that you have to pay for with a shipping container house that you don't in others is the shipping cost, the trucking cost, and the cranes that are required to be able to hoist it up to higher levels, to stack them. That, you don't always have to have a crane, but you will have to have a flatbed, and you will have to make sure that the routes are clear from wherever the port is that you're buying your shipping container all the way to your construction site. Now, I mean power lines and bridges and all kinds of things. So there's a lot to consider when you're choosing a location to build your shipping container. Some other things you might want to consider are the zoning laws, or some covenants, or some landmark restrictions. And if you want to learn a little bit more about those kind of things and things to consider there, I'll leave a link here on the bottom of this video so that you can read a little bit more about that too. So we'll talk to you a little bit later on the next video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I look forward to talking to you soon.